Lots of people find it very difficult to process verbal communication, and actually I would argue that all of us will have some form of visual timetable to enable us to function, and that will be different for different people. But let's take, for example, your shift rota. I suspect that if you were given that for the month and you were given that verbally, you would be rather anxious, because it would be very difficult for you to therefore remember what you were doing and when you were doing it and who you were with. So visual timetables are things that we all use. We tend to think about them in terms of calendars or things we write in our diaries. Some people will want more information and more detailed information than other people, but they are systems that are in place and that we all use and all are reliant on. One of the things for people who have communication challenges is that often they can't make use of the visual information in the forms that you or I might use, because written information might not be very useful. And so we need to think about other ways of enabling people to have an understanding of what's going to be happening, of when it's going to be happening, of who they're going to be with, of where they're going to be. So for some people it might be now and next, and it might be using objects, it might be using photographs, it might be using pictures, it might be using symbols. If you're working with somebody who has some visual difficulties, then objects might be more useful. If you're working with somebody who has much more profound intellectual disabilities, objects are likely to be more useful. For other people, they may need more information than that, because it might not just be about what I'm doing, but actually who's going to support me to do that activity. So some people might need to know not just what I'm doing next, but who I'm being supported in that activity by. Other people might need more of a sense of what the day is going to look like and the things that I'm going to be doing during the day. And that's a bit of trial and error and working out, starting with now and next, and then seeing how much more information you can add and whether or not the person finds that information useful or not. Some people might be very concerned with what's happening tomorrow, or when a particular event's happening. And visual timetables can be a really good way of conveying to the person it's not happening now, it is happening, but it's happening in the future.